Hey everyone, and welcome to today's deep dive. We're diving into a topic that's seriously trending: butt lift surgery. Specifically, we're headed over to Mumbai.
Mumbai for a butt lift. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Right. You probably heard about the Brazilian butt lift, the BBL. Seems like everyone's aiming for that sculpted look.
It's definitely having a moment. But what makes Mumbai stand out?
That's what we're going to unpack today. The whole 9 yards, the procedure, recovery, costs, and most importantly, how to find the right surgeon for the job, especially in Mumbai.
Finding the right surgeon is key with any procedure, but especially one like this.
Absolutely. So, anyone new to this, let's back up a sec. What exactly is a butt lift, and how does this BBL differ from a traditional one?
Okay, good question. So at its core, a butt lift is all about improving the shape of your.
You're behind.
Exactly. Now, a traditional butt lift, think of it as a nip and tuck, removing excess skin and fat. Great for a firmer look, especially if you're dealing with sagging from aging or weight loss. But the BBL, that's a whole different ballgame. It combines liposuction, taking fat from areas like your stomach, hips, thighs.
Then they use that fat to, like, enhance the buttocks.
Exactly. It's like body contouring 2.0. They purify the fat and strategically inject it to sculpt those curves.
So it's not just about size, it's about proportion.
You got it. And that's where the surgeon's expertise is crucial.
It's like choosing an artist. You want someone whose style matches your vision. Speaking of, our research really emphasized finding the right surgeon, especially in Mumbai. What should someone look for?
First and foremost, board certification in India. That means being recognized by the National Board of Plastic Surgery.
So they met the highest standards.
Precisely. But don't stop there. Look for someone specializing in butt lifts, especially DBLs.
And don't be shy about asking for before and after photos.
Absolutely. You want to see their style, their track record. But beyond credentials, communication is key.
That doctor-patient connection.
Exactly. You need to feel comfortable, heard, and confident in their abilities.
So you're not just a number, it's a partnership. So say you found your surgeon. What happens during the actual BBL procedure itself?
All right, so picture this. You're prepped for surgery.
Okay.
First things first, anesthesia. Most surgeons, especially in Mumbai for a BBL, they're going with general anesthesia.
Makes sense. Gotta keep
Yeah.
you comfy,
Yeah.
especially with such a delicate procedure.
Exactly. Now, we touched on liposuction being a big part of this. They're literally taking fat from one spot and using it elsewhere.
Right, like Robin Hood, but for curves.
Basically.
Yeah.
But how do they choose those donor areas? Well, it's a mix of things. Your body type, how much fat's available in different areas, and of course, what you're hoping to achieve aesthetically.
So it's tailored to each person.
Absolutely. We're talking abdomen, flanks, those love handles, hips, thighs, you name it.
So they map it all out beforehand.
Precisely. And during the liposuction, they use this thin tube, a cannula, to gently loosen and remove the excess fat.
And then that fat gets, like, purified. Right?
Yeah. You got it. They want the best of the best fat cells for the transfer.
Okay, so they've cleaned it up. What happens next? This is where the butt lift actually happens.
Exactly. They take that purified fat and, using very precise techniques, inject it into specific areas of the buttocks.
It's like sculpting with, well,
With your own fat.
wild. It's amazing how far this procedure has come. But after all that, what's recovery like in Mumbai?
Okay, so Mumbai's got this awesome network for aftercare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got facilities, professionals, all specializing in post-cosmetic surgery recovery.
Dedicated to helping you heal properly.
Exactly. Massage therapists for lymphatic drainage, nurses for at-home care, you name it.
So there's a lot of support.
Tons. But let's
Great.
be real, you will need downtime.
Oh, for sure. How long are we talking?
At least 2 weeks off work, probably more. No strenuous activities, no heavy lifting, and absolutely no pressure on your behind for a good 6 to 8 weeks.
Got to let those new curves settle in.
Exactly. You're going to experience some swelling, some bruising, a bit of discomfort, totally normal.
Part of the process
Your surgeon will give you pain meds. You'll wear compression garments.
to keep everything in check.
You got it. It's all about managing expectations, listening to your body, and leaning on that support system.
Now, even with the best care, there's always some risk involved with surgery. What are some things to be aware of with a BBL?
You're right. Always good to be informed. Infection is a possibility, as with any surgery.
Even in the best clinics.
Exactly. And then there's bleeding, hematoma, which is basically blood clotting outside the blood vessels.
Okay, and those are usually manageable.
With proper care, absolutely. But there are some risks specific to the BBL, because of the fat grafting.
Like what?
So there's this thing called fat necrosis. Basically, some of the transferred fat cells, they don't make it.
They don't take.
Yeah, they get reabsorbed by the body, and that can lead to lumps or uneven contours, which might need fixing later on.
So again, finding that skilled surgeon is super important.
It's non-negotiable. A good surgeon will take every precaution to minimize these risks. They'll assess you, use the proper techniques, and give you detailed aftercare instructions.
It's about minimizing those risks as much as possible.
Absolutely. It's teamwork, you and your surgeon working together. Speaking of teamwork, I bet there's a big question on everyone's mind. The cost.
Let's talk money. We know affordability is a big draw for folks considering Mumbai for a BBL. What's the damage?
Well, according to our research, a BBL in Mumbai can set you back anywhere between $2,200 to $5,500.
Whoa, okay, that's quite a range. Why such a difference?
Yeah, there are a few things that come into play. First off, the surgeon's experience and reputation, that's huge.
Makes sense, you're paying for their expertise.
Right, a surgeon who's highly sought after with a proven track record, they're going to cost more.
The whole supply and demand thing.
Exactly. And then you've got the clinic itself, the facilities, the level of care, that all adds up.
So a swanky clinic is going to cost you.
Think of it as an experience, not just a procedure. And then, of course, there's your individual needs.
Right, everyone's body is different.
Exactly. If you need more extensive liposuction or you've got really specific goals, that can affect the price too.
So you got to factor all that in. But I guess, like with most things, you get what you pay for.
100%. This is your body, your health we're talking about. Don't cut corners just to save a buck.
Prioritize quality, always.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. Even with all this info, nothing, and I mean nothing, replaces a one-on-one consultation.
So true. This deep dive, it's a great starting point.
It's about empowering you to make informed decisions.
Exactly. Use this info, do your research, find those reputable surgeons in Mumbai, and go into those consultations with confidence.
That's the key. Be informed, ask the right questions, and then make the best decision for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, there you have it, our deep dive into the world of BBL surgery in Mumbai. We've covered it all, the procedure, the surgeons, the recovery, even the costs.
And hopefully busted some myths along the way.
For sure. But the biggest takeaway, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make the right choices for your body.
Couldn't agree more.
So keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and until next time, keep diving deep.